Okay, narcissism. Let's talk about it. I recently tried counting instances of the word narcissist I came across in a week, whether in print, online, or elsewhere. I lost count around 15 and just arrived at a daily average of 3 to 4. The reason this is so interesting to me is because nearly everyone I've gotten to know in my life has an account related to the chaos that is sown by narcissistic behavior, whether it was they themselves who suffered from it, or it was a friend, or a family member. It's not a code word anymore. Not only that, there is a whole slew of related terms that ride along with the association of narcissism, all of which have their own nuanced definitions. Things like gaslighting, reactivity abuse, hoovering or breadcrumbing, negging, flying monkeys, gray rock, love bombing, coercive control, etc. It's almost like an entirely new language has been created for the sole purpose of categorizing the aspects of madness that sprout from narcissism. I believe this has happened because these phenomena are complex, and psychology is complex, and using parables to describe these phenomena help us to better understand them. Take gray rock, for example. This term refers to a defense mechanism employed by victims of narcissistic abuse. The idea here is that the subject of abuse becomes a non-reactive, unmoving obelisk, impervious to the narcissist's efforts of eliciting a response. Going gray rock means going dark emotionally, not taking the bait, not responding, not engaging. The consequences of which can actually be really bad if the narcissist ratchets up their controlling activity. And the list goes on. Before long, those affected by narcissism find themselves speaking a language all their own. And for those not in the know, it can seem like this is some kind of special club. The rabbit hole is deep and dark, and there are some insights that come out of it. I believe we can use these to better understand why impossibly cruel people do the things they do. As it turns out, you don't need a master's degree in psychology to get this stuff. But I never wanted to get this stuff. I mean this in the same way that I never wanted to know how cancer metastasizes in the body, until a friend of mine died from cancer and my curiosity overcame me. So I've watched all this narcissistic conversation happen from the sidelines. Mostly, as until recently, I hadn't really had my own lived experience with a narcissist. Some time ago, someone shared with me the painful details of her separation from a man who had all the traits of a controlling narcissist. It took weeks of regular conversations with her for me to finally arrive at something resembling an understanding of exactly how it could be the case that a man could torture someone so recklessly, and I will add, without recourse. The manipulation, abuse, well poisoning, character assassinations, underhanded attacks. Holy shit, I remember thinking, this is an actual psychological horror story, and this woman is still here to tell the tale. My newfound respect for what she had gone through can't be overstated, and in the wake of her own disaster, I found myself buoyed by newly minted knowledge of an entirely new class of human being, people so incalculably evil they can only truly be understood by the people they victimize. And this is a key point. You can think you know narcissism, but until you've experienced it yourself, it's all just an unbelievable story. Take Amanda, for example. She's a real person I know, name anonymized, obviously, who is, as of the making of this video, helplessly locked in an emotional cage, the keys to which are held by a true-to-form narcissist, hell-bent on making her as miserable as possible, even if it means liquidating his assets and destroying his own life to do so. Amanda's kids are being actively recruited against her. Her finances are being sapped. Her friends' jaws are perpetually agape with each shocking update they get as Amanda's sanity withers more and more. It's like a dumpster fire bred with a clown show in an acid bath and birthed a flaming, toxic hurricane of pain and destruction that only intensifies over time. It truly is nightmare fuel by any definition. Now, when you hear this description, it sounds terrible, and that's because it is terrible. But I think there is a part of our brains that refuses to allow us to believe that such a phantasm could exist in the world, because if it could, Its mere presence would force us to reconstitute our worldview. It would force us to accept the fact that we live in a world that allows for the unfettered prospering of distilled evil. And that, my friends, is no easy task. So all we can do is watch and care, which is what I have done, and it's what I'll continue to do. And of course, I'm making a video about it here on YouTube. But I want to point something out that is happening alongside our awakening to the wiles of narcissists. What I've noticed is that the term narcissist has evolved to describe behavior patterns that would otherwise just be assholish prickery. Your partner nags you for getting the wrong kind of laundry detergent. Suddenly, narcissist. You find out your girlfriend has been texting one of her exes. Suddenly, narcissist. You discover your husband has been gambling away chunks of your shared savings. Suddenly, narcissist. Just to be absolutely clear, if it feels good for you to label your partner as a narcissist with every misstep or affront to your security, go for it. But you do this as you cheapen the meaning of the word for those who know what it really means. In reality, narcissism exists as a spectrum, and it's possible to behave in the ways that a true narcissist would behave without actually being one. Lying and telling half-truths are good examples. But stepping off that soapbox, I want to conclude this video by reminding you not to allow the fear of narcissists to stop you from trusting people. I've struggled with this myself, especially as I am personally on the heels of a visceral, life-altering experience with a narcissist, a story I don't yet have the constitution to share. The temptation can be to recoil at the prospect of being vulnerable around anyone, because the sheep's clothing can always just be a convincing disguise for the voracious wolf underneath. Please know, though, that there is more good in the world than there is bad, and that even though evil pervades, safe havens of love and acceptance exist and await you around every turn. Look for them, and when you find them, never look back.